Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome back to another Five Nights at Freddy's. Um, Everyone, my name is Sylvia, and you might know me as Evie, and we are going to be doing a mask campaign heavily inspired by the anti-cosmic world, specifically Power Play. I would like to introduce some of my lovely guests here that will be recurring characters. We got Cupcake, if you want to introduce yourself.
Um, I'm Cupcake. Uh, my name is Caitlin. I like to play D&D. This is my first time playing Masks, though.
I believe this is everyone's first time playing Mask. And speaking of
Probably.
which, Jack, this is your first time ever playing a TTRPG. Is that right?
That is correct.
Oh, you sound so
Yes, I
beautiful on the
am.
mic.
Thank you. It's plugged into my DualSense PlayStation 5 controller.
It's a very good mic.
But yes. I am Jack, or that Jack Kruger on all social medias. First time playing here after talking to most of these people in a Discord server, and they're like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I went, "Yeah, I ain't doing nothing. Why not?"
Okay, awesome. And then finally, we got Zap Forth.
Yep. I am Zap, also known as Zap Fourth or Zap Fourth on pretty much everything I've ever been on ever. And I have played a few TTRPGs in the past, never in person though, and never usually on calls like this. But this is also, again, as with everyone, my first time playing Masks.
Okay, beautiful. Let me just also change this because I have a bunch of things on the side here that show my Discord things, and I don't want people to see that. So I'm gonna see if I can. Nope. How do I? Oh, guys, I'm so bad at this.
You're doing great.
You know what? That kind of works. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it like that because that is a very Jake way of me doing this. But I'm okay with that. There's nothing bad on the sides. It's just the Discord servers I'm a part of. But yeah, without further
Worst
ado.
case scenario, you can crop it.
Oh yeah, true, but I'm too lazy for that.
There.
Okay, without further ado, let's start with what I am now calling Power Play B-side. No connection, and this is unofficial to the actual power play done by Sir Superhero. Just want to make that very clear that this is not canon in the slightest, unless he makes it.
Eh?
Eh?
Nice try. Nice
I could
try.
be
Yeah.
canon twice.
Hell
Jack, I swear to
yeah.
God. So, fun little fact, just really quick before we get in here. The Jack Kruger is a wrestler. He is a wrestler, not a pro like WWE, but professional. Um, and
Gets
be
paid for it.
I am an indie wrestler based out of South Dakota.
perfect. And one day he did this awesome promo thing where he was fighting one of the characters, like where he made like a promo for fighting Ring Bear, one of the characters for Power Play. And then Sir Superhero, the person that's the DM for that, and also the entire creator of the anti-cosmic world, was like, "Fuck it, you're canon now." And so we have been jokingly doing something, what we have been calling Chekhov's Kruger, where I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
bring Jack Kruger into this somehow, and I'm gonna also have to role play as Jack Kruger to his character. So that's fun.
It'll be curious to see.
Yeah, I hope me playing with you as your GM will be a good way to figure out how you act and your mannerisms. Um,
Fair.
but right now I'm kind of screwed. Anyway, let's.
You can leave it out as long as you want, because it's all in your control on
No, I know.
when any NPCs show up, including NPCs of actual people in the
Mhm.
doll.
Yeah, I.
Exactly. Take your time when it comes to me meeting me.
God, It's gonna happen. I'm telling this right now. It's going to happen. I don't know when. I don't know when, but
Do
it
you
will
have a
happen.
headache about it already? Because it sounds
Oh,
like you do.
this is vodka. Kidding.
All right.
Anyway, let's start with power play. B-side. Let's first start off with Zap and your character. Now, what are your characters? What is your character doing right now? Maybe hanging out, going on a snack run of sorts.
Yeah, probably just he's a big into junk food, but even though you probably wouldn't be able to tell by looking at him, so he's probably heading out to the grocery store to just buy a whole bunch of bags of chips for the weeks.
Do you want to
Um,
describe your character and how he looks like for us, please, real quick?
um, relatively short, 5'3" ish, uh, and but not overly stocky, but definitely noticeably so. Uh, dark, uh, dark like brown hair, like very dark, almost black. Uh, like green eyes, and uh, generally, and usually he was wearing a hoodie of some kind,
Okay,
even
awesome.
if it doesn't suit the weather, just always in a hoodie.
Love that. Love that. So we start with Max going on a little snack run, just to make sure that he's refilled and all that. So you're crossing the street, and the busy street of San Francisco, California, I might add. Um, and as you're crossing the street, you notice that a lot of people are looking in the sky, all generally the same direction. Um, and I imagine that would catch your attention, yes?
Yeah, I would look to where I'd look up.
When you look up, you see this white figure, and it's sparkling, it's shining, it's kind of magnificent in a sense, and it's small, but it slowly starts to get a little bigger until you can see that it's something a little humanoid, like a person, as if a person could be a light bulb almost. And it's getting closer, and it's getting a lot closer. And you can
I
see, oh, go on.
I start backing up while keeping my eyes on it.
Even if you weren't to keep your eyes on it, if you were to look around, see what other people are doing, you see that follows it follows you. No matter how much of the sky is visible, it follows you. Like one of those weird paintings, like a Mona Lisa, how the eyes always follow you. Instead, this sky is like constantly moving. It seems to always be in your point of view, no matter what.
Like it's painted on my eyelids.
A little bit, yeah. Um, and then as you start to back up, you see a second, smaller being come to life, maybe? It appears. And then it starts going towards the bigger guy, dive bombing practically, going down not like several hundreds of miles fast, very fast. And as the big one in the sky stands there, he points a finger at you, while the other one reaches a hand as it's going towards the big one and slices it in half. The second that happens, everything goes into chaos. Glass from windows of cars and stores explode and erupt and just go everywhere onto the streets. Car alarms are blaring. Like alarms from stores are going crazy. People are freaking out. And then you remember, you're in San Francisco, California, a place where it's under a huge fault line. And the ground from underneath your feet start to crack open. from right at the crosswalk, directly under you, and a couple other people too. And just as you are about to run away, you look down. Well, actually, I should say look up if you're looking at the ground. You look up and you see a person on a motorcycle getting sent off because of the cracks. And they start flying towards you. And for a blink of a second, less than you can really honestly register before you can act, the person is no longer flying through the air. They are standing to the side of their bike, and the bike smashes into you and takes you into the wall of the very store that you were about to enter. How you feeling?
I assume not great.
I would imagine. I wouldn't imagine.
Probably a bunch of broken bones, probably copious amounts of blood loss.
Oh,
Currently.
absolutely. Oh, and as you start to try to recover, it's amazing that you're alive still. It explodes. The motorcycle bursts into a beautiful ball of fire. How you feeling, pal? You doing good? Was this what you were expecting today?
Max? No, not at all.
No? No, Max? Yeah, Max was just trying to get some snacks.
Yeah,
Some
Max
snacks and some
kind of
racks
just
of blacks.
is. Max screams at this point, probably, and probably passes out from the pain.
Beautiful. Right before you pass out from the pain, however, you can register that the bike actually is no longer on top of you. And instead, you are moved several blocks away from where you once were. Faster than you can even process. And then just as you're about to contemplate that, you pass out. A couple hours go by. I imagine you wake up. What is the
Yeah.
first thing you're doing after you look at yourself completely unscathed somehow?
I get up and immediately I put my hand against the wall as I feel things I've never felt before. Things in my body that you're not supposed to be able to feel. Bones, blood vessels, heart, lungs, the spine, nerves. Max can feel all of them inside of himself. He knows their precise location. He can feel them. They don't feel painful. It doesn't feel bad. But it's a sensation he's never felt before. It's akin to when you can feel your own tongue in your mouth.
How
Sorry for
dare
that
you?
for everyone.
How dare you?
But
Rude.
it's similar to that feeling.
And one thing
It's
that, as you're feeling everything, this new sensation that comes around you, you notice that you can feel one of your bones being a little cold. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a little cold. Specifically, your elbow.
I look at it.
Your bone completely and fully poking out.
I focus,
Once you focus, you feel it
and
and understand it.
suddenly it pops back. It shoots back in, and the wound slowly closes.
All right. Thank you so much. We will now move on to Kate if she's still here.
Why can I not be heard? Wait.
No, we can hear you. I can hear you. I just can't see
Okay.
you.
Oh yeah, I realized yeah. I'm here.
Okay, perfect.
Uh, all right.
Okay, a couple days have gone by at this point, at most 3. And the wreckage from that event is still being cleaned up because why wouldn't it? There's glass everywhere, buildings have been destroyed, things have fallen. This in San Francisco isn't unheard of. Earthquakes happen, things fall over because they just happen to be on the part where the fault line wants to break. But this is worse. Imagine an earthquake, tornado, and a hurricane all went through. This rubble and destruction is terrible. And at this time, the busiest section of jobs, I'd say, would be the hospital. And we zoom in on a hospital room with 2 young ladies, one laying down in a bed and the other one sitting right next to her. Would you like to introduce your character?
Yeah. So my character is Anastasia Agapova. Um, she's rather pale with long dark hair. It's in a bun right now to keep it out of her face, but it's a lot messier than usual. Um, she's very tall. She's about 6'6" with like broad shoulders, muscular. Um, she's usually very put together. But you can tell she's been crying a lot lately. And she's sitting next to the bed of her fiance, who's been shot and is in a coma.
As you are taking care of your fiance, or at the very least just being there, you get a ping on your phone. It's just a simple text message. You see it's from Anna Lamb, and it says, "Let me know if you need anything. I can understand how the event can really mess people up if you want to talk. We have a quiz in anatomy coming up pretty soon, and Frank and I and 2 others were going to do a study session. And I think my friend might tag along just out of pure interest. They've been getting really into anatomy recently. Anyway, let me know if you need anything." Anna Lamb is a fellow medical student. She works with you every once in a while. You guys just seem to be on different schedules during your work thing, even though you work a lot as a med student. But you can always, she's always there. She's always having a chance to talk to you if she can. Do you respond?
Um, yeah, Anastasia's obviously very upset right now, but she's still trying to keep up on her studies. So she'll just reply to the text. Like honestly, she'd probably even just like react to the text that says that they're having a study session with like a little thumbs up emoji to indicate that she'd be there. And I think that would be that.
Okay, awesome. A doctor will run into your, well, your fiance's room and be like, "Anastasia, your break was done 15 minutes ago. Come on. We need your help out here. There's a lot of people."
Anastasia will like kind of wipe her face a little bit. Grab some hand sanitizer out of her purse, wipe up her hands so she's sanitized, and head back out to the rest of the hospital.
As you leave the room, you get this weird feeling that your fiance, remind me of her name if you will.
Martina, and let me just double check the last name really quick. One sec. Martina Lopez.
Martina Lopez, you feel as if Martina has joined you in a sense. She always likes to say that she'll never leave you, she'll always be with you. And right now, as you are actively letting her rest in her coma, you somehow feel that more than ever. It's hard to explain, but it's almost like she's a guardian angel, I guess.
Anastasia will probably kind of like thumb at her ring a little bit and kind of feel that comfort a little bit. Maybe it makes her feel slightly less sad, but she doesn't really think much of it. She just gets back to work, puts on like her game face,
Okay,
and
awesome.
starts helping.
One of the people that you are taking care of is a young, not kid, but adult, a young adult. On their medical form, it says their sex, which I'm not going to talk about, but it says their gender is not binary. So that's how I'm going to be referring to them. It says that after a really bad car wreck, they got blown a couple dozen feet away and had a lot of broken bones. You see a mother next to her kid crying. She is also in a coma. And you just hear her say, "You're my last one left. Don't leave me too. Please. Please." Hey Jack, you ready for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What could go wrong? You know, after
Oh,
that huge thing, emotional moment.
Wow.
Man,
it's hospital, man. It's just a terrible, terrible thing happened. People are hurt.
I mean, hospitals do be like that
They
sometimes.
do be like that sometimes. So, we zoom out from the hospital, from a mom crying for her poor kid. We see a time lapse of the day and night, and it goes pretty fast. And we're about 2 weeks after that incident. A lot of the clubs at your guys' college um, have been postponed for various reasons. One, because there was a giant event that destroyed most of the city. And the other part is that people died or are injured and they just can't go. There are just a lack of people. The hospitals are filled to the brim. They just don't have enough staff and there's just a lot of people. But the coach of the football team doesn't care about that. You guys got a game in the next 2 weeks. What? You guys got to prepare. He doesn't give a fuck. You guys are in an indoor football field. Somehow, one of the first things, sorry, not one of the first things, one of the only things to really have minimal damage after the attack. It's an old football field. It's made out of like pure concrete. It's pretty much a nuke. It doubles as a nuke shelter, so it was able to handle everything pretty fine.
It's got the concrete with the AstroTurf rolled over top, kind of
Correct.
thing.
And we see this big guy. Do you want to describe your character for us, Jack?
Yes, my character's name is Jason Lane. He's a whopping 6'1", about 310, 315 for weight, and he's built kind of like a fridge. Like he's a big dude. Think of your like an NFL linebacker kind of thing, or not linebacker, lineman. And he's
The epitome of brick shithouse.
pretty much. He's got short black hair, kind of like cut into a crew cut. And a well maintained short beard because he makes him look a little bit older. He's been at the college for a while. He is 21, and he is a center for the football team. So he's an offensive center. So he gets to hike the ball to the quarterback and then hit people.
Awesome. And we actually see Jason talk to what appears to be the assistant coach. The assistant coach looks are actually the same age as you, and looks pretty similar build, big guy. But the only difference is that he's using like an arm cane, one that like it's like a crutch. Imagine the one that Victor uses from Arcane, if you've seen that. And he's like, "You think you're good to play today? I mean, after the whole event, wink, wink, nudge, nudge." And he verbally says, "Wink, wink, nudge, nudge."
All right. I mean, I don't see why not. I'm feeling fine.
I don't know, man. I just think it's not the best idea. I mean, we have like less than half of our team here. Like,
Look,
I don't see what one person just ditching today would see. If you want, are you sure you think you could, keep yourself under
I,
control?
I'll be good. I'll be good. I think I got this down, but I got to do something. Especially because if I miss another practice, coach is gonna have my head.
He'll have everyone's head if they already didn't lose in the end event. This guy
Yeah, I mean,
immediately makes a terrible dark humor joke. He makes this a very poor comment. It is 2 weeks after a huge event like this, and he's like, but that's just how strongly this coach like is kind of an asshole about this. That gives you any insight.
yeah, you pretty much have to. They'd probably still call us into practice if a nuke fell on us.
I mean, this thing is meant to survive a nuke, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's the reason why they built this thing is so that we could still play. Uh, you get out there, keep your head in the game, and the second that he's about to like wish you good luck, the head coach, um, Coach Carillion, he's like, "All right, pansies, let's get to it. Get out there." And he starts to realize how little men that he has for this, and he's like, "Leon, get out there." And you see this big, big guy, not as big as you, I will say, this big guy just kind of strut out there. And there's like a little posse, quote unquote, behind him. And he's just talking about, like, he's like, "Yeah, I saw a building about to fall on a baby. And I just, like, ran in there and saved that kid. It just didn't make the news, though, because of all the deaths. The news, like, pandering to all the people and all the death and trying to scare." They don't want to hear about the big heroes like me saving kids. And let me just tell you, man, after that story, the women have been all over me. Let's just say my bed has been a little less lonely. Too less lonely, if you know what I'm. And all his friends start laughing and like patting him on the back and just like nudging it, like just like shoving him, just like they're like, "No way, dude, you're so cool! Holy shit!" Um, you fucking hate this guy. This guy's the worst. He is just the worst.
Yes.
I wrote down in my notes that first of all, he in my notes I put quotes in a douchebag voice is how you should talk like him. And he's also just one of these big frat, I don't care, like yeah, dude, kind of like guys. Um, yeah, he's a
I fucking
stereotypical.
hate this guy.
He's,
I fucking hate this guy.
and Frank's like, I
I
I
think
know.
that's the point.
And Frank's just like, man, I hate him just as much as you. Let me tell you, if I could just like smack him and he takes his cane and kind of just like makes like a hitting motion. It's just like, God, I'd do that. I would do that so many times. Oh my God. And as you guys start to like Frank is like, come on, you gotta get out there. Um, you go out. You're on the offense as you're the center. And um, Leon, Ryan Leon is his name by the way. Ryan goes up and he is right in front of you. He just is like, "What's up, little man?" He is smaller than you, by the way. He's like, "I bet you didn't save any kids. Just is not in your blood, you know, saving people."
Yeah, yeah, man. Sure. I I bet you've saved a lot of people since this all went down.
Oh yeah, and I bet you were just hanging out with your little boyfriend over there.
All right, let's get this show on the road. And then you
Oh,
know,
you're
coach is
just.
desperate if he's got you on the field.
Oh, look who's excited to get their ass handed to them. Sorry. Oh, look who's excited to get their ass handed to them. Ah, you're a fucked, kid. You're about to get so fucking pwned. Oh, you're not even gonna get the snap off before I get you. Um, and the coach blows his whistle. It's like, all right, get ready, assholes. But Jack, you're absolutely correct. The coach is in fact desperate to put if he is putting him out there. He's part of the B team. He is part of the guys that are like, oh, let's. I guess we could put him out there right now. That's what we like. If too many guys keep getting hurt, that's what they put out.
Yeah,
Um,
you put him in after like a blowout of a game where it's just you don't want your starters getting hurt.
yeah, exactly. Um, but he's taking this as like usually with the B team, they kind of practice him second because they don't need to be the ready. But since he's practicing first, he feels like he's tough shit now. Um, and so as you are about to spike the ball, he keeps making little kissy faces at you, trying to get into your head. He's like, uh, and he's just like, oh, you got good, you and your boyfriend. Like he's trying to get in your head. How does that make you feel?
And it's aggravating. You know, Jason is used to this dude being around, and he's like he's just he can let it roll off like water off a duck's back. He can just okay, just move on, move on. But now this dude's directly in front of him making fun of the assistant coach who's his best friend. And it's like, okay, I might I might give a little extra oomph on this hit when after I hike the ball.
Makes sense to me. Can you do me a
So
favor?
he's a little riled up. Yes.
After you hike this ball, can you roll me an Unleash Your Powers check?
Oh, first I get the first roll
You
of
get the first
okay.
roll. I wanted to make sure that
All right.
happens.
And that is roll plus freak, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. I have my cheat sheets pulled up here.
All right, that is, and then I'd say +1 to freak, 6, 7, 8. That's a 10.
You crit! Oh, that's beautiful. This is exactly what I like to see.
Hell yeah.
First roll of the campaign is a crit.
So, would you like to describe how you decimate this guy?
um, dang, I'm still happy with that. So basically, trying to think of I'm looking at the bull moves on here too. So I'm like, okay, what do I do here? um, yeah, I honestly the best way to just describe it is my power is matter absorption. So I can kind of like the absorbing man or like Kevin 11 from Ben 10. If I touch something, concentrate on it, I can absorb that the
Property.
material, if you property of it. There you go. Thank you. That was the good word. So before I hike the ball, I'm getting it in my head and I am holding onto the pigskin and I start kind of absorbing the material of it to make me a little more bouncy, a little rubbery. And I'm also 6'1", 310, 315 on a good day and built like a fridge. So that I'm strong. So after I hike this ball, immediately I don't go for like a typical grabbing onto the shoulder pads and pushing back. I kind of drop my shoulder a bit and just check this dude about right in the bread basket, right where you don't want to get punched because it knocks the wind out of you. Just to give him a little extra oomph. I was trying to just make him go and stumble back so we can continue the play.
Oh,
So,
couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
so in Masked, there when you do an Unleash Your Powers check, there's two things that happen. Well, three things. You fail if you go 1 through 6. 7 through 9 is you unleash your powers with a side effect, and 10 through 12 is a crit. You do exactly what you want to do. You do exactly that. You hit him, you get him in the breadbasket, but you're strong, man. You got more than just matter absorption. And you send this guy right into the breadbasket where so he loses his breath, but the bounciness of you sends him a good 4 feet in the air over another player who ducks out of the way, and like he gets sent like 12 feet back. Like it is insane how far like he gets just sent and he is on the ground like oh oh you fucking asshole pussy you couldn't even get a fair fight oh swear to God and um everyone's kind of looking at you um and you see your buddy Frank kind of like crutch his way over and he's like dude and he like grabs your hand and starts shaking it and he goes good job because he knows people looking at him he by shaking his hand he is forcing you to go back to your normal skin so that you are not a rubbery pig skin.
So I don't look like a football.
Yeah, so you do not look like a football he because I imagine he was the first person you came up and talked to about this power. Um and he is like, "Hey, keep it together." And he takes some gloves out from his back pocket. He's like, "You forgot these. Don't take them off."
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. He was talking shit. He was writing checks that I knew his ass couldn't catch. I just wanted to give him a little shove.
And you know what?
But
I thank you
I
for
I
it.
guess that slipped me off my game.
I am not upset with you for doing that. I'm just worried that, there's a full team of football players here, dude. We don't know how people are going to see you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if they find out that fucking you can turn into a ball and send people flying, they're not gonna like that. And after whispering that, he's like,
Uh, I bet Coach would love it.
"Oh yeah, but the fucking I don't,
He's
I
not the one I want to find out about that.
yeah." Um, Me, Eve, I don't know a lot about sports, and I don't know like what the term for like people who check to see if if a team is going fairly. Like I guess a referee, but like we don't want the referees to find out.
That
But
or like, yeah, medical people to check for, any
exactly,
type of
steroid.
substances or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you don't have
Yeah.
any. You're not on any, to my knowledge. But it's like we don't. It's like, all right, set it back up. Leon, you're out of here. Take a breath. And he's like, and Leon is Ryan Leon is like, I can, let me out, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. And you can see him about to say something terrible, and he stops himself. One of the very few times that he stops himself, because I imagine he sees you right next to him.
And just know, even though I just had this conversation with Frank, like I got to get these powers under control. I'm getting the gloves on, and I'm giving a little cocky half smirk towards Ryan.
And
'Cause
the
I'm like,
head coach,
I'm
head
putting the
Carillion. Oh, sorry.
I'm putting the gloves on. He's talking his trash. And I'm like, okay, okay. Well, I didn't have to say a damn word and prove my point still, so we'll let him talk. As I just say that to myself as I finish strapping the gloves on my hands.
Awesome. Yeah. So after you do that, the Coach Carillion does in fact is like, Leon, take a breather, get something to drink. And the coach kind of goes over to you, he's like, hey kid, get that power in a game, not when I'm already short on guys.
Yeah, sorry, coach.
It's good.
But
I like to see the power
you know,
within you.
you know, you know what they say: you talk shit, get hit.
Good point. And I'm
Which he's
just try
probably the
try to play
only
nice.
authority. He's probably like the only authority figure on this campus that Jason could just say that to and not get reprimanded for it. So
Probably. I don't know. Colleges are pretty chill, but let's just say like talking about a student, probably. Um, and he's like, get back to position, and you go back, and you don't have an incident like that again. So we're gonna have like a couple weeks go by for the next interaction. I just want to leave it up to everyone. Does anyone want to have a moment with maybe their powers, maybe discovering them, learning how to use them, maybe with a certain someone? Does anyone want to do that?
I suppose I could have a scene like that.
Okay.
So I assume I'm in my room,
How
and
how far away
with
do you want this to be? Like, do you want this to be 2 weeks? Like, give me like, or do you want this to be like
uh,
right?
I'd say after the incident, probably 2 weeks. This is after I've told the person who I'm going to be there,
Yep.
uh, uh, about it, and this is like one of our like a semi daily kind of thing we do just to go through this.
And so yeah. So I assume you're just trying to practice your powers and make sure that you're good with them.
Yeah,
And
I'm morphing my hand. It's like I have the bones spike out every now and then, and I put them back in.
um, and your roommate and best friend, Anna Lamb, comes out of her room and he's like, "Okay, what do you think we should practice today?"
I think I'm ready for the trying to incorporate some uh airflow into this. Maybe use lungs. Hoping to get some maybe like a harpoon or something. Not sure.
Like try to shoot it out, you put a bone in there and you like that.
More. I take out my arm and I think I might be able to redirect like some of the airflow into my arm.
And she's like, "Oh, that's so gross. I love it. Go do it, do it." And she we pan over to see the other side of the dorm to find a very small area. These dorms aren't big, but they have like a common area. Um, and there's like a small little just a target there. And she puts a pillow up on behind the target, and she's like, "Yeah, I got a bunch of pillows from just
I raise up my arm. Uh, my hand splits open basically. And a like a single shard of bone is poking through, like through the middle of my hand basically, and it fires off with a like a strand of like muscle fiber attached to it.
I hate it. I am not the biggest fan of body horror, but I love it in like superhero contexts like this. So I am gonna
Yeah,
love and hate
I
your
love
character.
it. So expect a lot of it.
Then you know
It
what? I'm
hits.
totally down for it.
It hits into the
Whoa,
target, and then I.
unleash your powers.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to use
Uh,
your powers here, pal. You gotta. We don't know if it hits. It might. It might not.
Fair enough. Fair play. Uh, let's see. Is there any?
Unleash your powers is freak, so you're gonna add your
I don't know.
freak to
I'm just trying to see if I have any ability that would be
it.
applying the situation, and I do not.
Okay.
Uh, I do have good freak though, and that is, I believe, a 12. 9 + 3.
Go ahead, you crit. I'm gonna start need to see like pictures of the dice rolls, guys. Two crits in a row for our
Hey,
first two. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
fair.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm also just saying. If anyone is likely to crit on Unleash Your Powers, it's me with +3 freak.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you.
I
That
Damn.
well yeah.
I shoot the harpoon, like the shard of bone, into the thing, and the trail, like the tendril of like muscle and like sinew is going back to my arm, and I just pull it back, and with it comes the I assume comes the dartboard.
Yeah. If you want to do the dartboard, we can do that. I was yeah. So the dartboard comes back. Oh yeah, I understand what you're trying to go here now. Yeah, the dartboard absolutely comes back, and so does the pillow behind it. And Anna is like, "Oh my God, how does that work? Oh my God, I'm
Uh,
so glad that I'm in an anatomy class. We're and she's like looking
yeah,
at the
I
strand.
know. Yeah, I I pull the bone free, and it then goes the rest of the way back in, and my arm closes up again. Uh, yeah, that he shakes his hand because it every time he uses powers, it does sting a bit.
Hmm.
Ripping your arm open, not and to hurt.
Anna is
And
just
he
like,
just shakes it.
that is wicked.
Yeah, I thank you.
Be careful against using that against guys.
I know. I'm working on making them less sharp.
Are you gonna sand down your bones?
Eh, no, it. I need. to not shatter them and more mold them is the thing.
Well, I think
It,
you'll figure it out.
it's hard to explain to it's hard to explain. He's like holding his head. It's like trying to explain sight to someone who's like blind.
Yeah, okay, I understand. That's a really good analogy. I like that a lot. But yeah, okay. That is a beautiful scene of you using your powers. Do you want to do anything else, or are we gonna move on?
No. I suppose we can move on. Like,
Kate, you want to do anything? You want to show people your powers, or you want to hang off for a second?
Um, I I think I might hang on to it for a little bit. She's not really the experimenting with your powers kind of person, especially considering everything that the other two don't know about yet. Uh, but if you, I don't know if this was your plan anyways, but maybe that anatomy study session that she was planned to go to.
Yeah. So, a couple weeks have gone by. Like 2 weeks, about a month has passed after the initial incident. Just because it's like with people being injured and like things waiting for things to open back up, it has taken a little bit. Um, Very similar to the football field, there is like a little library cafe thing in your like college that got fixed up pretty quickly just because just there were just people coming in to help support and fix it right back up as soon as possible. Just because it's a very popular hangout for students and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, um, everyone's finally able to go to the anatomy study session. Um, so I will talk about all the people that we see here. So it's going to be obviously Anna Lamb, the person that invited you to the main thing. Is going to be Frank Watkins, the one that she said that was going to be there. Is going to be another person, Rochelle Drunner. Um, it's a girl you have seen in the university a couple times. Like, and if you're on TikTok, you see her if you ever go to the like the university TikTok page doing like little like we're asking students and like stuff like that. Um, she seems to be involved or at least worked for the school, but you besides that, all you know is that she's also in your class. Um, and you three, I believe.
yeah. Uh, Max like does a little like 2-finger salute with his hand like above his like eye like hands Max. Hey,
Anna like kind of like finishes like he's been thinking about changing his major, and I'm like, wait before you do that so that you can see the chaos of anatomy. Um,
yeah.
and yeah.
An
Um,
excellent point. She'll put her hand out to Max to shake and say, I'm Anastasia. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Anna. He shakes at her hand.
Sitting next to Frank is also Jason. Um, Frank and Jason have previous history, but like yeah, they all take an anatomy class for one reason or another. Frank takes it because he's majoring in physical therapy. Anna takes it because she is just going into the medical field, and she's gonna need to take that. And you don't really know about Rochelle. Rochelle's kind of really all you know is that you've seen her in class, but you haven't really formally introduced yourself. But the second that Rochelle actually sees Anna, she will kind of like not sorry, not Anna. Anastasia. Sorry, we got Anna and Anastasia. Gonna be
Yeah,
sucky for
Yeah,
me.
sorry.
that was a good please.
Uh,
Sorry.
no, it's all good. You
That's
didn't.
my bad. I
Roll
named
about this?
Anna.
No, no one knew about this. No one knew about this. This is what happens. And you know what? I met.
I'm glad I chose Frank.
I like
Can we
Frank.
all name an NPC?
You all did, which is very funny.
Okay.
I have so many NPCs that I have to take care of, but I like them all. They're all
One you don't have to. One you don't have to.
one I
He's
will.
fine. Ryan's fine. You don't need to deal with. You don't need to take care of him. You can let him rot.
Oh, don't worry, I
What
got
if
some
this
plans
is
for her,
unconscious?
and I still got plans for her. Let me tell you. Whoop. Anyway, Rochelle kind of gets like a little a slight blush over her face when she sees you walk in, but she doesn't say anything initially. Um, and she kind of just makes a little conversation with Anna. Um, it seems that Anna
Oh,
is kind of the
one
thing
thing,
that's connecting everyone here.
one thing to note is Anastasia is definitely carrying like a big bag with her, and as she's pulling out her study supplies, she also pulls out a big thing of cookies and um and like a handful of granola bars and stuff for people to munch on.
Max goes immediately for the cookies.
Rochelle takes a lot of the food. I'll tell you that much.
You'll have to fight Max for it.
Oh, Rochelle will be like, dude, I'm so hungry. Please, I didn't have breakfast. I'm begging you. Please, please, I'm begging you.
Fine, you can have the granola bars. I'll take the cookies.
And she's like, damn, okay, fine. And then she does. And she's a little upset about it.
You'll give her like 3 cookies.
Anastasia pulls out a second box of cookies and puts one in front of the person that didn't get the cookies.
Rochelle takes it, and she just starts shoving them in her face. And she's just like, and she just goes, "Fuck you, pal." Um,
Yeah, Anastasia is concerned by the speed which she's having cookies and puts a bottle of water next to her to wash it down.
and she absolutely takes it, and she's like, "Where are you? Is that back infinite?" And then she starts drinking the water.
Max
Jason is
eating
watching
definitely.
this.
Max always has a cookie in his hand, but he isn't always eating it. You know.
I feel that heavily. I really feel that. Max might become like
Jason
one of
is
the most
like
relatable characters. I
leaning
think.
back in his.
Thank
I
you.
agree. Jason is like leaning back in his chair, just got a hand up to his mouth, just quiet, like chuckling at the show going on in front of him of fighting for cookies and granola bars.
Frank goes over. Is like, I have never met these two before. I like them a lot.
And also at this point, I suppose Max goes, fine, if we're sharing food, and he opens up like a bag he brought of his own and pulls out like a bag of like Doritos, puts it on the table.
Rochelle will also do something similar. It's like, if we're all sharing, and mind you, she is 5'4", little small girl at most, like 90 pounds. And she pulls out
Slightly taller than Max,
a little bit.
definitely more thin,
Yeah.
a lot thinner.
And she pulls out like just like a bunch of different snacks, like just like boom, 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 and you start to realize that she has two bags, one bag for food and another bag for her like homework.
Ew.
I love
Max
it.
looks at her. I get you. I like you.
And she's like, "Ooh, thank you." Yeah, I get hungry and things are just so expensive, and I'm constantly eating, and it sucks, but it's just so I can't not indulge myself. And then she just takes a cookie and then drinks some water. And
Yeah, I feel that need finishes the cookie he has in his hand, and like before you can even blink, he has another one in his hand. Not powers wise, just comedy wise. I want to
oh
say.
yeah, yeah. And so Frank kind of is like, okay, you freaking cookie monsters, let's get to studying. The quiz did get. It's she's still considering canceling it, but just, right now it's just postponed. She's like, and Max kind of just like, not Max, sorry. Frank just kind of puts his hands over his face, and then he just says, "I don't understand why we are having a quiz. Why we still have like quizzes after this event that happened. I don't get it.
I mean, there was a god, right?
Is that a god? It's just a thing in the sky." And Rochelle was like, "I think it might have been a god. If that was a god, I need to question my entire belief system." And Anna is like, "My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, not him." And she kind of laughs because she's making a joke.
Jason kind of leans forward and reaches like his hand into the bag of Doritos because he loves Doritos just like I do in real life.
Oh
He takes
yeah.
a few. Is like I don't think that thing in the sky could have been a god because they say if you kill God, people will forget cease to believe in him.
I mean, if it wasn't a god, what was it? Let's be real.
And
Aliens could have been an alien.
and Rochelle brings up something. He's like, "Well, have you guys been hearing about people getting powers because of him?"
I mean,
Jason kind of coughs on the chip that he's eaten for a hot second.
Stacia has been like taking notes like the entire time, like for like starting to study. She notably stops
I
at
mean,
that.
You guys are
Jason,
all so
Max goes
terrible at
like
like hiding this stuff.
Max, just like uh visibly, maybe a bit too visibly, rolls his eyes and goes, "Well, like I saw that one TikToker do
Rochelle gets so
something."
excited. Rochelle gets so excited. Goo Girl? I
Yeah, I
love
think
Goo
that was it.
Girl. Oh my god, she's my favorite. I love her. Oh my god, she hasn't been posting in like a little bit.
Stacia will legit look at Rochelle and be like, "Ooh,
It's someone
uh,
on TikTok doing some special effects stuff, I think.
It is not special effects. It is real, and I'm telling you,
okay."
it is real. Okay, Rochelle will bring out her phone and she will go right to Goo Girl's TikTok page, and she will, and it's like all this POV, just like taking down villains and stuff like that, and like it looks super real, but it's something that you're not used to seeing. It is this person who is made out of goo being able to Spider-Man thwip around cities and then goose guys like to make sure they stay still. The most recent one was she saw a gunman running down the street and she gooed so that he could stop. Well, not the most recent one, but the most popular one at this moment. But and Rochelle's like her Goo Girl. She's based in Seattle, I think, and she just saves everyone. Oh my god, I love her.
Jason is playing off the coughing on the chip at the super power comment of like, you think after 21 years I'd be able to chew a chip without coughing and choking on it, but you know how it goes.
Did it
Yeah.
get
And
did and
Anastasia puts another bottle of water in front of Jason.
thank you very much. And then as he's watching like that Goo Girl TikTok, he pulls out his phone, and, like texts Frank, and be like, "What happens if I touch goo?" Question mark. Question mark.
God.
Frank will respond is like and with it was like he'll send you and then the equal sign and then goo with with a question mark question mark.
Just a
And
quick text back. Well, something to worry about later.
and then he'll text you Jace Goo and then Goosen.
Goose in the gut.
Fuck.
It's a good hero name. It's a good hero name.
Oh, kind of like belatedly responding to Frank's comment from earlier after the distraction of Goo Girl. Uh, Anastasia will say, "Well, regardless of if we have a quiz or not, we do need to know the material. So we might as well study now."
And you guys study for a little bit. As all the NPCs, they will agree with you. Um, and you see like the pile of food next to Rochelle. Like once you're like working and stuff like that, you'll just like constantly see it like kind of slowly disappear. Just like
It's like that in like when like there's a times like thing and like the pile gets bigger or smaller depending on what you do.
yeah, yeah.
The food pile diminishes as the wrapper pile increases.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct, exactly. Um, but yeah, um, Frank will get a notification on his phone and it'll be like, guys, the president's making her speech about like the people who have gotten powers and like the catalyst thing. Is that what they're calling it? I
Wait,
guess the
wait,
catalyst.
wait. You think that's what the speech is about?
What else could it be? I mean, like, yes, I've heard of Google. Frank goes, but it's like there have been like rumors and like reports and like found footage, like quote unquote found footage because it's recent, of just people experimenting with powers. I saw this one guy on my TikTok. He was like, I don't know what he was doing. He kept like trying to be like activating his powers with a bunch of metal stuff. I think he went a little crazy. I think the
Well, I assumed the speech was going to be regarding the overflow in the hospitals
I mean,
and maybe
I think
solutions
it's
to solve that.
genuinely.
It,
I think the speech is about the thing that was in the sky in
maybe
general.
Again, it could be confirming aliens. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that was an alien, dude. I think that was a god. Rochelle says it had to be a god. It had to have been.
well,
I
there
mean,
have in various mythologies there have been deaths of gods before. It wouldn't be unheard of.
Like, and who's to say those mythologies are fake? Rochelle says, like agreeing with you, and Anna finally speaks up. Is like, guys, it's Jesus Christ. Get it through your heads. Anyway,
if that were Jesus, I'd expect him to come back 3 days later.
who said he
Ah!
didn't? Jack. Just a really quick laugh. I really like that, Jack. Thank you for that. That made me happy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um, Anna is Anna's like, here, let's pull up the speech. Let's take a little break. We've been studying for a couple hours.
sure.
And Anna using like Anna and Rochelle will both like just pull up their iPads so that on the sides of the table people can watch it without everyone like crowding to one side. So like usually their iPads are used for like school and like taking notes, but just today they just are, watching the president's speech about what can happen. Um, there have been a lot of rumors about what the president is going to do with these superpowered individuals. Um, she has not made an official statement about what it was going to be about, but a lot of people assume it's the catalyst and the superpowered people. And as the video starts to play, like it plays like that, like, and and she goes, my fellow and like the screen starts to glitch out and it's like starts glitching a little bit more and she's like and it cuts to super hum and then is like sky got and like it just like starts glitching out and then it switches over to here. I wrote it down, so I want to make sure I have this. Suddenly, the screen cuts to a robotic-looking man in a white suit with a metal and gold helmet, and he introduces himself as Network, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen of the world, you surely have had many rumors and conspiracies flying around since the supernatural event that took place a month ago, and today some of them will be proven true." apologies for taking over your airways for this broadcast, but trust me, you're gonna want to see this. We come to you live from Pike Place Market, where four genuine superhuman heroes, Goo Girl, Ring Bear, Umbra, and TVD, are engaged in a heated conflict with a mysterious gunman. And you just see Rochelle fucking lose it. She's like, Goo Girl! She
Wait, she's
is.
real?
I told you! Look it! You think someone. Uh, and Anna, is like, oh my god, this is so cool. And Frank like starts pointing at TVD. He's like, that guy, the crazy guy. He was, he actually has powers. Whoa. And it
Weird.
and it cuts to drone
Is
footage.
that Shadow Man?
He we see Goo Girl taking gunfire. We see TVD get all stretchy. We see Umbra teleporting through shadows and getting people with that. And Ring Bear is just straight kicking ass. Um, And then Goo Girl decides to use Ring Bear as like they catapult Ring Bear into one of the armed men. And you look around in this like cafe library area and you see that everyone else in the area is watching this. You can you can kind of assume that it was just the president's speech, but if you actually like start looking around a little bit more, you realize it's every channel. Every single channel on every cable news network has been changed to this. And people are hyped. People are going crazy. The TVs that used to show the menu for the cafe have changed to this. Like, it's not just that, it is everything. Um, and people are cheering after like TVD takes hostages and like all that. And like the three NPCs are just pumped. They're like, "This is sick! Oh my god!" Anna will look over at Max. Rochelle will kind of like be a little like on the edge a little bit as she's watching this, and Frank will nudge Jason and is like, "Eh."
Max has an open mouth, like half smile, half smirk, like a huh kind of expression.
How are you feeling, Jason?
Yeah, Jason is pretty much the same. He's just leaning forward, like this is a real thing that's happening.
And it's awesome. Um,
This is sick.
and how is Ed?
You kind of see like a look, like a considering look on Anastasia's face, and I don't know if anyone else would actually be paying attention, but on her notebook, she writes down cargo pants equals pockets of many things.
As yeah, you can see TVD's cargo pants that just like probably have anything that they need. Um
Wait,
uh,
Max turns to what was his name? The Frank? Because I thought you said he had metal powers or something. That guy.
he was trying to do metal powers. I don't know. It was, like apparently he's stretchy now. Wait, that Anna will like speak up as like, dude, his name's TBD, to be determined. Obviously his powers are gonna change.
You know, fair.
Like
Honestly.
obviously like and you can see Frank doing his due diligence and trying to find that TikTok page. He cannot find it for the life of him.
The TBD one.
Yes, the TBD one. He cannot find it at
That's
all.
right. That's right.
Oh,
I believe it.
poor TBD. Uh, sorry, I really like this. This is super fun for me. Um, and as like everyone thinks that the fight is over, you see Network come back onto the screen, and he goes, "This just in, we're getting readings of a huge individual. Oh my God, what is that thing?" and the camera is cut to this huge guy, bigger than Anastasia, I'd say, like 7 foot. Um, just man who is purple and has like different like fish limbs, and Network is like "Oh, Captain Kraken. Ah, this will make for good TV, everyone. I'm just kidding. And then it's just the fight within Captain Kraken. Um, yeah. Uh, after, sorry, I looking at my notes. I apologize. And as the fight goes on, you can see people like get like if they have it on their phones, they are looking at it. People are on the edge of their seats seeing this. And then finally, Goo Girl comes out. And when Captain Kraken has an electric eel on his hand, he shocks Goo Girl, but it also shocks himself, neutralizing the foe. And Network comes back on. He's like, well, everyone, we see that we have the beautiful protectors of Seattle helping us and making sure that no one got hurt today. I hope to see more of you later, and thanks for watching Power Play. Cuts out and goes back to normal things. And you can see the president's speech just ended. Like,
Oh,
Max doesn't recognize that. Like, that was sick.
I look over. Jason looks over to Max and is like, "I'm pretty sure I saw that bear one do like a suplex. You only see that in wrestling, like pro wrestling, like you see on TV."
Hell
Uh,
yeah. Wrestling hero?
I'm here for it.
speaks up and she's like, I really like Ring Bear. I think that's her. I love like the whole wrestler Big Top Circus vibes. That's, ooh, I hope we see more
Did
of
you see
her.
did you see the Shadow Man, by the way?
Umbra?
I think.
Yes. And that's Frank talking. Umbra is so cool, being able to like reminds me kind of like of Spider-Man's Venom almost, like that suit,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and with the
Right?
tendrils and all that. Like, oh, that is so Venom. Oh, I love that. It's like it's real superheroes. And
is no one
Anna,
concerned that the metal guy covered the president's speech?
I mean, if anyone wants to watch to it's probably been recorded somewhere. Might need to take a day or two to get out, you know?
yeah,
Right?
that's a good. Like Anna agrees with you. She's like, yeah. I mean, come on. Well, we can watch the president anytime. This was our first time seeing real superheroes. This is awesome. Like, and Anna will make like a little comment, and she'll kind of like kick Max's foot while she says this, and she'll be like, "I wonder if we'll get any superheroes in San Francisco."
Honestly, I mean, if the God thing happened around the world, I heard, wouldn't be surprised.
This is gonna be fun.
It could.
Might it would be nice if less people were ending up in the hospital.
Fair enough.
Good point.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
But I mean, hey, with more superheroes, less people in hospitals, right? They're gonna be saving people. Rochelle is saying this, by the way. She's like, if we have more superheroes, we might have more ways of protecting these cities.
Yeah, but I will say, there is the other side, because, I mean, it's all our first instance at superheroes. Hopefully we don't get any supervillains. Like the
I
Kraken
think
bully.
we already have one.
I mean, come on, Captain Kraken was his name, and this is Rochelle again. She's like, I felt like he could have been like that's come on. Who's gonna do that? He was probably like just trying to like be scary. I don't know. Like no one got hurt.
And
Maybe
yeah,
maybe this was
let's
just like a little setup for power play, even if it's not real. This is like really cool.
bro. No one got hurt, I suppose. I just hope we're not gonna see our own Pike's Place. You know?
That's a good point. And with that, would anyone like to do anything before like this not session, but like the study session ends?
Yeah, Jason's still just kind of sitting there in awe of like what he just saw, and kind of as he closes his notebook to end it up, and if anyone glances at his notebook, he doesn't have really anything written down. He'll just copy everything off of Frank's notes later because it's kind of what Frank's
I
the
will.
smarter one.
Frank will absolutely let you.
I will say, one thing you see of in Max's notebook is notes of like a drawing like of a like a humanoid skeleton, and like an arrow pointing out the reds and going like something with a W at the start of it, and but that's probably all you can catch before he closes the book.
Yeah, like Frank's notebook, it's just for anatomy. What he wrote down is arms on both side of body equals good.
You know,
Two eyes, the right amount of eyes, one nose, just bullshit notes. Just to look like he was
Anna,
busy, but at the bottom, it's like you see his more, metal check. That's good. Glass with an X next to it, like probably don't want to do that. Wood check. Water
brackets.
question mark, and then in like two big like two lines he wrote goo question mark.
Anastasia will say, well, interruption aside, this was a decent study session. Should we form a group chat to plan future ones?
Seems smart.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. That's like Frank saying it, and everyone else I'm just gonna say they all agree. There's three of them. There's so many NPCs for this. Oh my god.
You don't have to be in them every. At least
No,
this is
I'm gonna
the
beat them.
the
I'm gonna beat
probably
them.
one of
I'm gonna
the
spite you. Actually, I'm gonna spite you, Zap. I'm gonna beat them. I'm gonna be the best them I could beat.
all the time.
Not all the time, but I'm gonna beat them.
I meant be them all the time. You didn't let me finish my sentence.
I might beat them all the time, just to spite you now. I want to spite you. Spiting. I am spite.
I hope you be them all of the time. Take that.
Oh fuck. Fuck.
I can't slow down, Zap. We're fun. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, if no one wants to do anything, Anna will
Oh,
actually.
we
Oh,
were studying in the library, right?
it's like there's like a cafe library mix. My school has kind of that thing. There's like a cafe area, and then like it's connected to a huge library.
Um, if you're just before we like leave the building, I have something I want to do. But if you have something that would happen first, that's fine.
I got something that happened first for you. So. Oh wait, copyright. So Anna's actually gonna come up to you. After like people start walking away. And she goes, "Hey, Stasia, I just wanted to talk to you and see how you're doing. Um, I haven't seen or heard from Martina in a bit. I I assume why that I also haven't seen you in a little bit.
Still in a coma.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. If there's anything that I can do to like make you feel better, just let me know. I'm a call away."
I appreciate it, Anna. Thanks.
And before giving you like after giving you a big hug, by the way, Anna's like 5'6". You are a full foot taller than her. Um,
Yeah.
she struggles a little bit. But she gives you one, and she's like,
Anastasia does lean down to make it a little easier.
"Oh, thank you." Um, After she hugs you, she goes back over to Max and is like, All right. Do you want to just head back to the dorms?
Uh, maybe head out for a little first.
Okay. I'll see you back at the dorm. And then she goes her separate ways, and Rochelle
Uh,
will actually. Ooh,
before he goes, I do want to show you one thing, and I'm going to DM you what is in his notebook. By the way,
oh my
uh,
goodness, I am so excited about this. Everyone's gonna be able to see
uh,
it. Actually, hold on. I gotta go back. I don't want anyone seeing this. This is a me thing. Hello, Father. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. And this is Anna's reaction and mine. And she's like, yes, 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 absolutely, yes, yes.
got it. Good to know I got it right.
I mean, not really. That would be like more like hands, kind of. But I could see it working. Yeah,
See, I'll meet you at the dorm. See ya.
yeah. And she heads out separately. Um, Rochelle will actually go up to Anastasia, and she will introduce herself formally. And she'll be like, "Hey, my name is Ro. Well, it's Rochelle, but my friends call me Ro, and I'd like if you could call me Ro." And after like she kind of like fumbles that like proper introduction, she starts talking a little faster. It's like, I was just wondering if you want to get coffee sometime. We could get to know each other. Meet more, I want to meet more people, get more friends, and I was hoping that you could help me with that. And you seem really cool, and you seem really nice, and we're both in the same class, so it'd be really helpful if you want to, like, yeah. And she just keeps like she will keep talking until you stop her.
Imagine at this point, with English being Anastasia's second language, she's probably having trouble keeping up with however fast Rochelle's speaking.
uh,
Um,
yeah, that's fair.
he says, "It's nice to meet you, Rochelle. I'm Anastasia. Yeah, so I've been really busy lately, but we can probably schedule some time to have a coffee, maybe study some more together.
And she gets
It's
really
where I spend all my free time studying these days."
excited. She's like, "Oh, I know how always studying is, and yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I if we're all part of the group chat, I will hit you up separately. Yeah, and she'll kind of like just dart off, and the entire time she has like a little blush on her face. She like it,
By the way, does Anna have or Anastasia have a Russian accent, a notable one, or is it not there? Just
Oh, it's
out
a
of curiosity.
notable one. I just don't know how to do accents. I'll try to figure it out for next week.
No,
But I,
I wasn't
no, no,
expecting you to do it. I
it's
just
totally
wanted
fine.
to
We just
know.
want a canonical answer here.
Yeah.
oh yeah, she literally only moved here like a few years ago for college. She grew up in
Gotcha.
Russia. Like
Gotcha.
English is her second language. She she's fluent in it, but that's why she was struggling with Rochelle's speed talking.
Gotcha. That's why I wanted to know if there was an accent, because I know some people when they speak a different language lose the accent.
No, she has a pretty thick accent, but yes.
Gotcha. That was all.
All right. After Rochelle like runs off, uh, Anastasia will continue like to the poetry section of the library and check out return her old like an older poetry book and then check out a new one before heading back to the hospital.
Hold on a second. Pause here. My dad's playing with my dog. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that I'm here for this, but I'm going to be watching this. This is really funny.
They are.
You know what? This would be a good time we can take our break.
Fair.
Yeah, let's get something to drink.
That's
and then
fair.
Okay. I'll stop the recording there, and then we will start when we get back.
Yeah.